Hi everyone, I'm Jeff Gravatt. Thanks for tuning in to my YouTube channel, Jeff Gravatt Motorsports Marketing. Now of course today we have another edition of Let's Go Racing, this one from June of 1997. In particular, look out for a new reporter on this show, someone you've gotten to know very well on News 12 New Jersey. Well, I'll tell you what, I think he got a start on our show right here back in 1997. Another thing we started on this edition is sponsorship mentions. That way you can help your sponsor or sponsoring by his own a short sponsorship mention to let everyone know that they're open, in business, or will be opening again soon. You know, we've always said to support your sponsors. Now's your chance. Support your sponsor here on Let's Go Racing. If you need to get a hold of me, my number is 732-278-3399. 732-278-3399. This is going to be a great show. You'll enjoy it. Please remember, subscribe to my YouTube channel so you'll know when a new video goes up. And if you like my video, please hit the like button. Again, I'm Jeff Gravatt. Thanks for watching. Now we get ready for 1997 action. Tonight on Let's Go Racing.
Modified driver Jim Willis have a secret? Something he doesn't want you to see? We'll find out tonight on TV 34's Let's Go Racing. It's Saturday night, June 21st, the first day of summer. Boy, does it feel like it here at Wall Stadium. Hi, everyone. I'm Jeff Gravatt. Thanks for tuning in to TV 34's Let's Go Racing. Tonight on the show, we're going to talk to a couple of modified drivers who moved up this year. They're impressive. We're going to find out what they think of racing modifieds at Wall Stadium. Of course, my pal Harry Hurley is going to talk to another racing legend, and we may even have a couple of surprises. Of course, we'll cover all the highlights of Saturday night, June 21st at Wall Stadium. Another week, a lot to do. We're going to get to it right after this. You know, the 1997 modified season here at Wall Stadium has offered some great surprises. Modified fields are up. There's some new drivers in the field, and they're very impressive. Paul Jason Burge is a former street stock champion. He is flying in the modified division right now. Paul, thanks for coming on TV 34's Let's Go Racing. You're in the top 10 in points. Are you surprised?
Yeah, we're being more consistent than I thought we would be. First off, I got to thank my sponsors, Manchester Collision and Custom Graphics, Country Bear Cafe, RTE Racing Transmissions, Jim Hagerman, he's been great this year, Becker Plating, and Country Bear Cafe.
All right, now you know you mentioned sponsors right away. We knew they were important in street stock racing. Are they more important in the modified?
Yeah, the street stock, if you finished every week, the money that the car brought in could get you to the track the following week. With the modifieds, you got to put at least 2, a lot of times 3 tires on a week, and even finishing in the top 10, that's just not enough money to put the tires on for the following week. So without the sponsors, I definitely wouldn't be here.
All right, tell us a little bit about car number 80. It's a new car to most of us watching in 1997. Who built the chassis? Who builds the motors? Tell us about the car.
The car was formerly Rich Lucas's car. It's an '88 Troyer car, and Jim Hagerman builds the motors for me.
All right, what's the big difference out on the racetrack between a street stock and one of these open wheel modifieds?
A street stock, I think you actually need a little more finesse to drive. They're a lot heavier and you're on those skinny tires, and there's a lot more slamming and banging with the street stock. Modified is a lot faster, and when the wrecks happen, you really got to be paying attention so you can get slowed up.
All right, thus far this year, you've been pretty lucky with the wrecks. We've had some. You've more or less avoided them. Is there a knack to that?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is being comfortable in the car and going as fast as you feel comfortable. And if the car is handling it, you don't have your hands full, and that enables you to look ahead and see what's happening.
All right, back when you had the street stock, you always gave a lot of credit to your pit crew. How important are they? Are they still with you, the same guys from last year?
Yeah, there again, I got everybody. I got Uncle Lip. My dad's racing the street stock now, but he's still a big help at home. Billy Walker, he's racing my other street stock, but he comes over once a night during the week and helps out. And I got to thank Johnny Johnson, too. He came over last night and helped me put the new motor in, and he was with us all day today. I think to maintain the modified, it takes about at least twice as long as maintaining the street stock.
All right, we may have gotten a tip here. You said a new motor in the car tonight. What happened with the other motor? How's this one performing?
So far, the motor in the car, it's running real good, and it's hot today, and the water temperature seems to be running pretty cool, and we're not handling too bad. It's a little early to tell yet. We'll see how it feels in the heat, but other than that, the car feels pretty good tonight.
All right, you mentioned the heat. That's another question. You've raced some hot nights in a street stock. It's hot here tonight in the modified. Which is worse? Which is better?
I don't think it makes a difference. When it's hot, you're hot in a car. I don't think it matters whether it's a street stock or a modified.
All right, you talked about your dad racing street stock number 80. What's it like to maintain two cars? Is it a tough deal?
Yeah, it's real tough because during the week, I used to have Dad helping me with the car. Now he's racing, so together, if we don't have a bad Saturday night, it's not too bad, but if we both crash the cars up, then it can be pretty tough during the week.
All right, Jason, a lot of people in those grandstands have been saying, watch that black 80. He's going to win a feature race. A prediction, if you will. How long before the 80 will drive in the victory lane?
Well, we're digging deep every week, and seems like the harder we work, the luckier we get, so we're just going to keep working hard and hope for the best.
We'll get right back to more of Let's Go Racing. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you for watching the show. You know, it's been on YouTube for a couple of weeks, and these shows just keep blowing up the internet. I want to thank you a lot. You know, it reminds me, too, it's a great time to do what we've always said. Support the sponsors who support your sport. Right now on Let's Go Racing, with so many people watching, I'm offering inexpensive sponsorships. You'll see some on the show today. Why don't you jump on board? Either your company or your sponsor's company. If they're open, let people know it. If they're going to open, let them know when they do open. And of course, I hope we're back at the racetrack real soon. Now, if you'd like to take advantage of this opportunity, give me a ring. 732-278-3399. Again, 732-278-3399. Thank you for watching. Support the sponsors. And now let's get back to Let's Go Racing.
Jim Willis, you and your number 62, another one of those pleasant surprises in the modified division. You've been running strong. You've been running great. Are you happy with your year thus far?
Well, with the exception of 1 week, reckoning the heat race, yeah, I'm very happy with the year. It's going well. I think, you know, we're getting faster each week, learning a little bit each week, and I think, you know, we're starting to gain a little respect from the guys, from, you know, the top guys here. So, yeah, I'm happy with it so far.
You know, you mentioned that respect thing. We had Dave Garfinkel on one night. He had won that feature race. He mentioned how well you were doing, how you listened, somebody tapped you, you moved over, how hard you were racing. Does that make you feel good?
Oh, yeah, getting compliments from these guys is great. You know, that just boosts your confidence that much more. You know, And when you can go out there and run with these guys and go as fast as they're going, and then they come in and compliment you, that's just super.
You know, you always worked hard to keep your sponsors happy, and the pro stocks, the championship had to make them happy. How are they doing this year? Do they like this modified team?
I'll tell you, I've got all the same sponsors from last year, and Gary Marino from Mako Transportation, I think he was a little skeptical / hesitant with getting into the modified racing, but you know, he's been out here, he's seen a couple of good runs, he's seen, you know, that the car's going all right. So, you know, I think they're getting excited now, you know, everybody from Mako Transportation, and you know, everybody from Sunoco, Rich's Ultra Sunoco, and Fred D. Wyckoff Company, they're always, you know, they're always excited watching the races coming out here, everything. And you know, of course, the Ciscos, they help me as much as they can, and you know, Frank Bordwick, that Bordwick racing engine, man, that gets me around here pretty decent.
All right, you had a Bordwick engine under the hood in your pro stock. Now you got one in your modified. Let's look at the race cars. When you're on the track, what's different driving a pro stock to driving a modified, and which do you like better?
I like the modified better. It's faster. It's well, this particular car, you know, I don't know about any other cars, but a couple of different people have driven this car and said the same thing. It's real forgiving. So yeah, I like driving this car a little bit better. It's yeah, especially because it's faster too. You know, everybody wants to go as fast as they can out here. But as far as the difference goes, these cars, you got to be, the only real big difference is you got to be a little more conscious of the open wheels in the front. You don't have that full front bumper to protect your front wheels. So yeah, you got to drive a little different. When a wreck happens, if you know you're not going to get through it and you might tear a wheel off, you got to play it a little different. You know, you just got to be a little careful of the wheels up there. That's really the big difference.
Now, last year, of course, you raced at the old New Egypt Speedway in the modified division as a rookie. Do you think that helped you coming here to Wall Stadium this year with this car?
Oh yeah, that helped a ton. You know, it got me used to that open wheel thing. You know, and especially because I raced with a couple of these guys too, and I learned you know, the habits of a couple of drivers. And you know, all last season I was fairly sure that we were going to do this modified racing this year, so I'd watch these guys as much as I could too. So that, you know, that helped. But yeah, the driving experience last year definitely helped.
All right. Driving with guys like Dave Michael, Eddie Bone, Dave Garfinkel, a lot of experience. Does it intimidate you, or do you like it?
I like it. You know, excuse me. I like it a lot because, you know, yeah, you can these guys, you'll come in the pits and talk to these guys and they'll, you know, say whatever, maybe this will help. And you can learn from that, but you can only learn so much from talking. Once you get out there and you start racing with these guys, and you know, you see, you know, if you try to follow them around, you see what they're doing, what exact kind of line they're taking. It helps a lot. I like racing. I always liked racing against better drivers, because that's the only way you're going to get better.
All right, I'm going to let you in on a secret. A lot of people in the grandstands watching that bright orange 62. They'd say that car's a winner, that driver's a winner. If you will, a prediction. When will this Matco Transportation 62 drive in the victory lane?
Oh, I can't predict that. When I finished the last lap first, I really don't know. I mean, we're running, you know, we've been getting some good top 5 finishes. The car's running decent. So yeah, maybe if things pan out, I get a good luck night and, you know, a couple of things go my way, yeah, maybe we'll end up in victory lane this year.
Well, I'll tell you, Jim Willis is modest, but people are noticing the way he races around the speedway. Both Jim Willis and Jason Burge turning heads in the modified division at Wall Stadium in 1997. You know, we've had a lot of great modified drivers, just like Jim Willis, here at Wall Stadium over its 48-year history. Our very own Harry Hurley's ready to talk with one of the best right now. Let's throw it over to Harry Hurley.
Hey! Thank you very much, Jeff Gravatt. That's a long throw. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I have the honor and distinct pleasure of interviewing Mr. Tom Michel, the father of Wall Stadium's most winning small block modified driver, Dave Michel. Tom, thank you so much for coming on Let's Go Racing. And tell me, Tom, let's go back to the beginning. When did you get involved in racing?
I got involved in racing back in the late 60s down at Lancaster City Racetrack. I ran Wall Stadium, East Windsor, Langhorne, went to Trenton a few times, Martinsville. About the only ones I really run on, you know, major tracks. So.
You race with modifieds then?
Well, I started out running Sportsman, you know, Atlantic City and East Windsor. And I got hurt real bad up there one year. I had a real bad accident and busted this wrist and collarbone, you know, and I was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and I gave up dirt track racing after that. Went strictly modified here, like come to Wall Stadium here. Then I ran here in Atlantic City, and over the years, you know, mainly here, you know, as the main track, and
well,
Atlantic City.
Atlantic City, you were champion there a couple of years, weren't you?
Three or four times down championship down there at Atlantic City. Matter of fact, they had a bounty on me for 11 weeks down there. They kept raising the bounty on me, and anybody could beat me. You know, each week they run a $25 more bounty, and finally Tony Siscone got in a real good car and beat me, you know, out for it. I think he got $275 he won on bonus for beating me. You know, I run second right behind him, but I just couldn't get by him.
And how long ago was this, Tom?
When they had that bounty, I guess that was back in the early 80s.
Well, that late. When did Atlantic City close, Tom?
Exactly, I can't remember. It's like late 80s, you know, along in there. Matter of fact, I won the last big race that Atlantic City ever had in the record books. It was a modified show. They had New York cars down there, and there was a lot of good big names from out of state come down. They had a real big show down there, and I won that. That was one of the biggest thrills of my life, being I was, you know, a regular there all the time, and Tony Siscone run second in that, and we battled out the whole race, but he couldn't get by me, and I wound up winning that, and that was the last big race, or the last modified race Atlantic City ever had. They usually ran sportsman class cars, you know, but that was a regular modified show. And Gil Hearn and Charlie Kramer, a lot of guys from here was down to that, and plus a lot of New Yorkers and Connecticut cars. And that was a big thrill for me to win that. That's the last show they ever ran there.
Well, now we see in the paper they're going to build another NASCAR track in Atlantic City.
Well, I don't know if it's going to be in Atlantic City or not, but I hear there's going to be one down around Tucker area.
Well, they say this is going to be where the racetrack, where the horse racetrack.
Well, that would be nice if they could get it in there, you know, if they could get it in around all them houses and stuff, you know. The noise and stuff there, they'd have to have some kind of a curfew on it, or daytime racing or something, you know, because that's right in around all them houses, you know, business and stuff, you know.
I know we've seen NASCAR tracks being built all over the place, and I'm just wondering if they got enough races to race in them, you know.
Well, that's the thing, you know, they only have so many races a year, and they keep going all these new tracks. And
31.
Yep. But they, you know, now a lot of these big corporations is buying up the small tracks and taking their dates, you know, and putting new tracks up and things like that, you know. But
well, when did you retire from racing, and why?
It was right around 90. I got hurt in a bad accident. Well, it wasn't a bad accident, but we got stopped. Lane Boyd hit me in the back rear end and drove me right up on top of the car in front of me.
Here?
Yeah, and it snapped something in my neck, and I had these tremendous headaches for about, well, altogether about 2 years. But whenever I would have a hard impact, I would get dizzy, you know, and I would lose my vision. So it was like a pinched nerve in the neck, and it affected me, you know. So I just laid off for a couple of years, and then of course, they had the big strike and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And I still got my old car sitting down in the garage. David, he's cannibalized most of the good stuff off of it, but it's chassis still there, you know. And matter of fact, I just talked to Ron Murdoch about, he's got a couple of my engines up there. I'm going to get it, bring stuff back down, you know, and set them in the garage there.
Well, Tom, certainly our time is up, but I want to thank you coming on the show with me. And you know, you're talking about getting hurt a couple of times. Well, that must have been when racing was dangerous, huh?
Well, that one I really got hurt up there was, I flipped 6 times side raise and 3 in for ends, and I never want to go through anything like that again, I'll tell you.
Well, you know, I said I got a bumper sticker on my car that I've been threatening to have made into T-shirts, and it says, "Remember when racing was dangerous and sex was safe." So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I'm Harry Hurley one more time for Let's Go Racing, and be the good Lord willing, we'll see you all again next week.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a brand new segment tonight on Let's Go Racing. Actually, it's an old segment we're reviving this year. It's called the Fan of the Week. Joining us this week is Denise Condon.
Hello.
Now, Denise, what brings you to Wall Stadium tonight?
My husband drives street stock number 7. He's been driving for 3 years, and we're here to support him and cheer him on.
Who do you bring with you to Wall Stadium?
I come with my 2 boys, Tyler and Ryan, and my mother-in-law and sister-in-law and the family.
So he's got a pretty good car support, huh?
Yes.
And how do your
Nice fan club.
How do your little ones like it?
My little ones enjoy it the best. It's great that they enjoy such a family activity because it allows all of us to come and cheer Daddy on and the rest of the drivers.
Now, you said he's been coming here for 3 years. Did you come to the track before he started the race? How'd you get involved in auto racing?
We live up in West Colwell, New Jersey, went to Pinebrook Auto Racing. They closed down and we started coming down here probably about 1990, and we've been fans here ever since.
That was up with the TQs and the microstocks, right?
Yes.
Now, did he race up there at all, or you just
No.
spectators up there?
Nope, just spectators. Just followed tracks that were close to us. This was the closest. We're an hour away from here.
Do you go to anywhere else at all?
We went to New Egypt. We do go to Flemington and occasionally East Windsor.
Okay, John Conant, one of the successful street stock drivers here. Are you ever scared when you're watching him out there?
Yes, extremely. It's very nerve-wracking to see a loved one driving in that car amongst all those drivers, but we can just hope and pray for the best, that he makes it out okay, and hopefully up in the top.
He has won here in the past. We've seen the whole cheering section go crazy. Is that a thrill to see your own husband win here?
Yes, it is. It's great to see that the fans are so supportive of him and that he does have a little fan club, and it's just great for us to see as a family with my boys.
You got to keep coming back?
Oh, yes. Forever and ever.
Well, Denise Condit, our fan of the week this week. Jeff Gravatt, time for the feature.
Joe King in the 78 and Ron Lane in the 94 were the first 2 rivals for the lead in the Parmalat Milk Truck Series 12-lapper before Lane got the upper hand on lap 2. King stuck with it, however, and finally raced into the lead on the 4th lap. Tag Neal had his 19 in high gear as he throttled in the second with 5 laps in the books, and he immediately went after the leader. Just past halfway, Neal completed his mission as he drove into the lead for good. Tag Neal raced the remainder of the distance to another Truck Series win, while Joe King in the 78 settled for second. Brian Jost in the 99 was third, Lane in his 94 were fourth, and Bart Skank in the 6th rounded out the top 5.
Tag Neal back in victory lane. How many times is it now? How'd you do it tonight?
Well, that's number 6, actually 7, but you know the story behind that. Just got in the race, just bided my time, and when the time was right, just went for it.
I'll tell you what, it seems like these trucks are getting tougher every week. Do you find that from the driver's seat?
Yeah, they are. They're getting faster every week, and I find that's all I can do to get to the front.
All right, how about your sponsors? They gotta be happy. A bunch of wins for that orange number 19.
Yeah, we got a stack of them. Crestview Gardens down in Galway, very good, help us out a lot. Beatrix and Son Electric in Barnegat helped me. Inman Realty, Barnegat Light, LBI, great people. And there's a whole lot more. Steve Reeder Plumbing, Manahawkin, Tim Nickel Construction, Manahawkin. These fellows are all great, and one of the best things we have going right now is GTV down in Galway. Every Sunday night they got us on TV, and it's a great thing for us.
Kenny Reeves in the 88 was the first leader of the Pro Stock 25-lap main event and held command until the only caution flag waved on lap 8. This yellow was forced when Mike Belillo in the 42 and Walt Lacero in the 57 had trouble in turn 4. On the restart, Billy Cole in the 76 took full advantage as he throttled the car into the lead. With the action going non-stop from then on, Cole raced away from the field while John Thurkelson in the 4 and Ray Gastello in the 69 fought for second the rest of the way. When the checker flag waved, Cole was a winner for the 4th time this season, while Thurkelson held off constant assaults from Ray Gastello for second. Point leader John Ruggiero in the 21 was 4th, and Kenny Reeves in the 88 completed the top 5.
Billy Cole, you've had a rough couple of weeks. It must feel good to finish 25 laps, let alone take the win. How'd you get the win tonight?
Just Stayed out of trouble. Tried real hard to stay out of trouble tonight.
All right, did you have any trouble staying out of trouble? Any trouble going fast?
Nah, it's a pretty easy win. I just went right to the front and had a real comfortable lead until 2 laps to go. A caution came out. They dumped a little water on the track, but the rest was history.
How was track conditions those final 2 laps? Were you worried about the guys behind you?
On the restart, I was a little worried. I didn't know how slick that one turn was with the water in it, but it was fine.
All right, your sponsors got to be happy. A couple of bad weeks, a good one here. Your 4th win. Tell us about them.
Yeah, I got to thank Dick's Auto Body, New Car Connections, Flowtech Engines, TJ's Pizza, Van Sant Equipment, Advanced Chiropractics. They all helped me out a lot. My crew, Steve, Rick, Ed, Dick, Kenny, the whole crew. My wife, Mary.
Kenny Johnson in the 20 led the initial charge in the Parmalat Milk 30-lapper for the Budweiser Racing Series Modifieds before he clipped the backstretch rail on the 3rd lap and pitted with a flat tire. The first restart attempt went nowhere as Matty Rico in the 2 took the quick route to visit pit steward Tom O'Rourke and the track crew. The second attempt at a restart was also spoiled when front runners Jeff Loesch in the 1 and Mark Rogers in the 44 tangled in the 2nd turn. Dick Robbins in the 68 picked up the lead on the restart, while Dan McLaughlin in the 38 ran 2nd until Jim Hawks in the 61 moved into the picture. After Larry Reed spun the 22 on lap 9, Hawk powered up his white 61 and throttled into the lead with Robert Schlettweg in the 11 close behind. 4 cars spun on the backstretch on lap 11 to force a double file restart, but Hawks was able to fight off Schlettweg's 11. The top 2 then battled furiously until lap 25, when Mike Brennan spun the 55 for the final caution of the event. Jim Hawks and Robert Schlettweg then raced under a blanket for the final 5 laps before Hawks took down his first win of the year. Schlettweg was 2nd, with Dick Robbins posting an impressive 3rd. Dave Garfinkel in the 21 was 4th, and Eddie Bone recovered from early problems to finish 5th in the 4. Jim Hawks, a lot of competition out there tonight. Must have been tough getting to the front. Tell us how you did it.
Yeah, it was a little bit rough there. Had a couple rough restarts there. Got the front end bent up a little bit, but the car seemed to work okay in one groove. So once I got to the front, I could run my own groove and stay there.
All right, how about your sponsors? They have to be happy. Not too many weeks out here, you've already got a win.
Yeah, well, we don't have too many sponsors this year. I'd like to pick up a couple more, but A&B Machine is about the only sponsor we have. Does the motors, does a pretty good job for what we give them to work with.
Okay, car 61 appeared to be fast. Was it that good on the racetrack?
Well, at the beginning of the night there, we had trouble with the tires closing up and the stagger staying where it's supposed to be, but we got that worked out for the feature pretty good.
All right, tough customers behind you all the way to the finish. Did you know they were there? Were you worried about them?
Oh, yeah, you always know they're there. And worry about them, I don't know. You just try to hold your own line, and if they're faster than you, they'll let you know.
John Tenor in the 40 and Ron Booth in the 65 had a real war going in the early laps of the Parmalat Street Stock 20-lapper. This pair diced for the lead for at least a half dozen laps before Booth finally got a car length on his rival. The action stayed fast-paced until lap 11, when Tommy Farrell spun his 75 to slow things up. On the restart, both Booth and Tenor slipped a little too high in turn 2, and Bill Rondeau in the 23 took full advantage to race into the lead. The second and final caution waved with just 5 laps remaining, when both Bill Vanderveen in the 19 and John Hummel in the 88 spun in turn 4. Rondeau led a tight top 4 all the way to the checker flag. Bob Howard Jr. in the 22 was the runner-up, while Craig Wallace in the 77 was 3rd. Point leader Rich Monjo in the 57 wrapped up the tight quartet, while Larry Thompson in the 14 was 5th. Bill Rondeau, this has got to feel great. You've had some tough weeks here. You finally raced to the win tonight. How do you feel?
I feel great. You know, I got to thank my sponsors, Pete and Elder's Bar, Carmen's Pizzeria, Jam Racing Engines, Julian's Auto Body. I got to thank Joey Hauser, Wayne's Auto and Speed, Seville Diner, B&B Roto Recycling, Dennis Hag. I got to thank my crew, Bill Sr., my dad, my brother Jeff, Wayne, Greg, John. Without them guys, we wouldn't be here. They've been plugging away every week on this car.
You know, we know the car's fast, but you have tough guys up front. All of a sudden, you got through to the lead. Tell us about that pass.
It was just, I picked the lucky lanes tonight. You know, it was the last couple of weeks I haven't been getting the breaks, and tonight we got the breaks and got to the front.
When Dr. Johnny Payne won the 3/4 midget main event here in early June, he said it was the best possible medicine for a seriously ill car owner, George Verhoost. He must have been right, because Verhoost was at the track last Saturday night for another dose. John Gambutti in the 15 was the first leader of the 25-lapper and paced the field through lap 7 when 2 cars tangled to force a yellow. Gambutti stayed out front and diced through traffic until debris on the speedway slowed the action with 10 to go. Meanwhile, Dr. John in the 6 was rocketing through the pack. On the restart, Payne in his number 6 raced to the outside of defending champ Mike Titeback in the 1 to take over second. He then began to track down the leader. Payne quickly closed in on John Gambutti in the 15 and dove to the inside lane in turns 1 and 2 to take the lead with 4 to go. Dr. Johnny Payne then raced to victory to give car owner George Verhoost another reason to feel better. Gambutti in the 15 held on for second, while Titeback was third. Andy Starrera in the 01 was fourth, and Ken Zorinsky in the 75 was fifth.
Johnny Payne, another win here at Wall Stadium. You're obviously happy. How'd you get to the front tonight?
Well, we had some problems in the beginning of the show, so we had to start from the back, and everything just worked out great. You know, I mean, the car runs great. Pop here, put a new motor in the car, and he got me to the front.
All right, George Verhoost, what do you think of this driver? 2 straight wins for you. That white number 6 in victory lane a lot.
He's the best there is. He's the best.
All right, you got the confidence of your car owner. Tell us about that path for the lead. Right down there in the first turn, you dove low. How'd you do it?
Well, I caught up to John, and he got a little loose coming out, and I was able to get under him and get a run on him down the straightaway. And when we got to the corner, he was where I wanted to be, so I dove low, and I used the lap traffic to my advantage.
Any trouble at all with that race car? Any trouble during the night, early or late?
Well, early on, we missed warm-ups again. We missed the heat races again. We broke 2 shifter cables. It's, you know, every time we don't make the show, we come out for the feature and win. So maybe it's telling us something.
How about your sponsors? They have to be happy, all the people that back your car.
Oh, yeah, everybody's really happy. We got Hoosier Tire we got to thank, GPR Machine,
JW Race Parts.
JW Race Parts, Giant Special Effects, Ed's Race Photos, Twin Eagle Racers. That's about it. Everybody's real happy. Everybody's here tonight.
Pop Verhoost, quite a driver here. We heard rumor you might be getting rid of him. Any truth to that, or is he staying with you?
He's staying. He's staying.
Well, the first summer Saturday night of 1997 is in the record books. It was hot and humid early in the evening, but a nice breeze developed, and it was a pleasant night at Wall Stadium. We had 5 happy feature winners and lots of action. I'm Jeff Gravatt. Thanks for watching. We'll cover the action every Saturday night right through the middle of October here on TV 34's Let's Go Racing.